Hey everyone, long time no anything. I guess I haven't really had much to say, but I do right now. So, um, it's been this year I haven't really done much. I got COVID and then long COVID, which attacked my nervous system and actually made my nerve damage, neuropathy, much worse. My pain much worse, and so I've been referred to a pain clinic specialist. Because it's getting that bad. Like some days I can't even use feeds. It feels like I've been punched in the stoma. It's like feels permanently bruised, and so it's hard to feed and use the formula and stuff like that. So it's been a really tough year. Really tough year. And a couple of days ago, I noticed that my port was getting like caught on things and like it was rubbing on my clothes a bit. I was like, oh, that feels really gross. And I pulled up my shirt and I was looking at it a bit closely and I noticed it was sticking out lots. So I was like, that's weird. We only topped up the sterile water, the fluid that keeps the internal balloon floated. We topped that up like a week and a bit ago. It should be fine. So I got Dev to check the levels, which should be 10 mils of fluid to keep it anchored and secure to my stomach wall. And he could barely get 2 mils out. I'm like, ooh, that's not good. Maybe there's a slow leak. So we filled it back up and tested it again the next morning, and there was absolutely zero water in it. So confirming that it's definitely started leaking. Now, I sent a Sunday night emergency email to my specialist going, oh hey, is this a bad, how desperately should I be in an emergency room right now? She got back to me early this morning and said, asked me some probing questions about it, and if any stomach fluid came out of the syringe. Apparently, stomach fluid comes out of the syringe. It means that it's completely burst and there's nothing there at all. You're just getting stomach fluid. But if it's just nothing's coming out, it means that the balloon's just shrunk down. So it's just it developed a leak and shrunk down completely. I've got an emergency appointment to see my specialist tomorrow morning, and that's going to be interesting because now I've got a PEG Mickey port, so not just the normal gastrostomy tube, and it's specialist. It's like custom ordered, so it takes a couple of weeks to get here. When it's ordered, and so I don't know what they're going to do if my specialist can't find one that matches my measurements. Basically, they have to measure. It's to do with the size, the width of the tube, but also your abdominal wall distance, and custom measured to your exact abdominal wall, and taking into account your body fat and stuff, like the distance, the length of the tube, and the width. So if she can't find something that matches my measurement in Melbourne, they're going to have to custom order it from overseas, which can take time. So I don't know what is going to be suggested in the meantime. Possibly going back to the old gastrostomy tube, which I hate, because it's super visible. It is super, lots of tubing strapped to my body at all times, and my weird tiny body can't take all this tube. Remember, my original tube, we had a huge flange, huge external tube that went plumbing all the way up into my armpit, and you could see it, and it was uncomfortable. It was awful, and plus they're wider. So it will stretch out my stoma, which will hurt not keen. I had the reverse problem when I got this tube, because it was the tubing is smaller. My stoma had to grow around it, I had to shrink to it, so I had leakage problems. It was just I was drinking water and it would just come out of me like a cartoon, straight out. I drink water and it comes out the hole. It was that bad. It took a couple months for that to grow in. Now, in the meantime, my stoma feels like it is going to eject my insides all the time. Anytime my stomach spasms, anytime I move, talk, eat, cough, sneeze, exist, breathe, I can feel the pressure, my internal pressure of my stomach trying to force the port out. It feels like it's going to come out. And there's only a few bits of tape holding it between my insides and my outsides, so I feel like it's going to succeed every time it pushes. It feels terrible. See, pain I can deal with. Pain is every day. I'm always in pain, but this time I'm legitimately scared. I'm actually scared because, you want to know why I'm scared? You want to know why I'm scared? I'm scared because now a stoma will start closing up like within an hour. Like, it is useless and you have to get a new stoma cut in. So if I don't get to an ER, if this tube comes out within an hour, which is a hectic mad rush to the hospital, and to be seen quickly, and if I don't get seen within an hour, it's emergency surgery to cut in a whole new stoma. My last stoma, my first one, well, my one now, took 8 months to heal. 8 months of a raw wound and rubbing, and it was not a great time. And it got infected, and it was awful. It was fucking terrible. And so now, if I do get to the hospital in time within an hour, what they have to do to keep the hole open, the stoma open, is they have to shove a Foley catheter, which is a big fuck off, basically a giant Macca's straw on steroids. They have to shove that through the hole to keep it open so I can have a replacement tube put in. Now, because of the time factor that I mentioned, there is no time for anesthesia. Like, they will legitimately do this to me while I'm like shove this giant Macca's straw on steroids through this hole in my chest while I am conscious and completely able to feel everything. And I am terrified of that pain because I've heard that it is absolutely excruciating, and like, my life is hard enough. I really don't need that kind of experience this week. I kind of like wanted to chill and maybe do a face mask and draw a bit. I'm literally terrified. You want to know how terrified I am? I'll show you how much tape is on me right now. I'll show you how much tape I've got on me to keep my insides in. Like, so this is my taping right now, and it goes all the way around the back. So that is how much tape. I'm scared. This amount of tape to keep my insides in. And it still feels bad, like it's gonna come out. This is so much tape. This is how terrified I am. This much tape. It's like the universe saw how bad my week was going to be. It was already a pretty hectic week with some big family things happening and life things happening with some dear friends of mine. And it's like it saw these things and was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it much, much worse. I'm going to do the worst thing I can do to inconvenience everyone around me, because it puts out my partner, it puts out my housemates, it puts out my friends, the plans we had, like, because I've got to go in and hospital and around and just be precious, and I can't participate, and I hate it, and I'm like running around crying and scared all the time and being delicate and not able to move because it's uncomfortable, and I'm just a general like sad sack and miserable piece of shit to be around. So yeah, if anyone else has got any experience with like friggin' like cursed peg tubes that like deflate magically and fuck up your day, like, hit me up. It'd be nice to have a friend to talk about this with, because basically I'm unrelatable to everyone I know right now, because I don't know anyone else with a peg tube. So yeah, that's my little update. I'll update more once I figure that I get like the heads up on what's happening, whether I have to go get an awful primitive fucking old gastrostomy tube that's gonna like stretch my port out and give me a bad time while I wait for the new one to arrive, or if they've got an interim method of something they can do. I don't know what they can do. That's hence my appointment tomorrow. They didn't really disclose on the phone. They weren't really sure. They want to see the situation like physically, and then maybe give me a better idea. I don't know. Like, but my specialist wanted to see me specifically. That's why I didn't go to the ER. She said, "Look, your case is just too complicated." Like, and I agree with her. Like, I will probably blow the circuits of any sort of ER attending with my case notes. They probably just pay one look and go, "I'm just gonna make a call and talk to someone who knows more about what you're talking about." Yeah, I'm that person. They thought it best that they deal with me directly, and asked me to hold on for a day if I could just tape it and be careful. And like, now they didn't ask me to, but I'm fasting from like midnight onwards, just in case they need to put me under. I thought it's best, rather than, you know, they go, we could fit you in today and get it all done, but, you know, oh, you've eaten. But so I'm not on feeds. I'm definitely not on feeds. Not eating yogurts, not drinking Gatorade or anything. I'll just, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, be prepared. So, I wish I had better news. I've even dropped weight again. Like I've been really bad. COVID really messed me up. Anyone that thinks it's just a seasonal flu, like maybe for you, but if you're someone that's immunocompromised with like multiple chronic illnesses and like a permanent disability, like you don't know what it's going to do for you. And unfortunately, even though I do isolate basically permanently as a little weird hermit in my house doing craft, I picked up COVID from a friend that literally waited 2 years to come see me because of COVID and literally got COVID at the airport and then gave it to me. And I found out I had COVID literally just before my last surgery. So they had to postpone my last surgery till I was better, and I literally got long COVID afterwards. And when I had COVID, it was less of the respiratory COVID, and it just attacked my nervous system. I was in so much pain, all the joint pain, all the connective tissue loss and stuff I've had, and the muscle loss and the nerve damage. It's like it was all dialed up to 11, and nothing, no painkiller I could take would touch it. And it's been bad since then. Like and the fatigue. Like I was already tired. Like I was already permanently tired because I'm not getting enough nutrients and vitamin deficiencies and all that kind of stuff. Not getting enough food, so I'm already like lagging anyway. And it's just like it made a bad problem worse. I didn't think it could get worse. I didn't think I could get more tired. Turns out I can. And so like this year's just kind of been a write-off because it's just been trying to find a way to manage the pain and trying to find a way to figure out what's happening, because no one really knows much about COVID or what it attacks or how it attacks. Or so when you go like your GP about it, like they're just like, here's some endone. Like, thanks. Endone doesn't even work anymore. It barely takes the edge off. Like, I had one appointment with my first appointment with the pain clinic specialist, and they prescribed me tapentadol, which is another opioid, which is like a benzoid opioid, and so like it works better for chronic pain and things like that, and neuropathy, and that worked better. I could still like never expect like back in the day I used to think like when they gave you morphine or like painkillers it would knock all your pain out. Turns out that's not the case. It just takes the edge off. When your pain is that bad, it just takes the edge off. It's so bad. Like yeah, but the tapentadol's a lot better, and it doesn't sort of doesn't really have the rep of things like oxycodone and stuff like that and endone, which I was taking a lot of, and it wasn't doing shit all, to be honest. So this is a bit better, but they'll teach me better ways of managing it, and like they'll try out other methods of pain relief and stuff specifically for my neuropathy, and then they're the best people that can do sort of more investigation into like why my neuropathy is worsening because of COVID, just my general nervous system, and like really map out my pain and connective tissue loss pain, joint pain, random nerve pain, stoma pain, like, and why I feel pain differently, and when it should feel one way, it should feel another, or it feels bad some days and doesn't feel bad other days. Like, they'll unravel the mystery that is my pain. So, yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully, I'm trying to make next year look like a more productive, better year. Like, I've tried to replan my life and repace my life with my new impairments. Like, I had to repace my life before when I became sick, and I'm just doing it again now. My sick got sicker, and life is going a certain pace, and I couldn't keep up. And there's only so much catch up you can do before you feel like you're constantly playing catch up with life, and you're miserable. So instead of catching up with life, you have to repace the way you live, so that you don't feel like you're behind all the time. Because it's a game of catch up you can never win. And it just leads to you being really fucking piece of sad shit. Alright. So, yeah. I'll keep you posted about tomorrow. I'll do a little video. And let's see how fucked up my peg tube is. And what I'm going to do to get it fixed. And in the meantime, how much tape I'm going to use trying to keep it in. Enjoy my picture of Nick Cave, and have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.